Hello music lovers and welcome back to the Woodshed. Got a lot of questions on various things, not scissors. Didn't get any questions on scissors. However, these are green scissors. I have a green Sir, so I have green scissors. Okay, got a lot of questions on a lot of things, one of which was strings. Well, now I have reloaded. I usually have to reload about once a quarter, depending on how many shows, how many playing session type things I got going on. A lot of different gauges going on. A lot of folks want to talk about strings and string gauges. So as you can see from my good friends over at D'Addario. That's right, folks. That is the string of my choice. I like those strings. Now, with that said, a lot of great string companies. Let's say you're in the middle somewhere. They don't have your favorite brand. I guarantee you can find an Ernie Ball string, a D'Addario string, anything like that will get you done. I grew up playing cheap strings because we didn't have a lot of money, so just whatever we had, I had to make it work. Playing a lot of Bluegrass growing up, I used GHS strings. You know, that was a thing I used a lot on Mandolin. But once I got to where I could taste all the flavors in the world, I really got into D'Addario strings. So let's kick the box open, let's dive in and see what we got. Roll it. Let's get in this thing. Let's see what's in the box. What's in the box? Favorite Brad Pitt movie? Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite Brad Pitt movie? Little game I like to play called Who's Your? I'll tell you about this while I'm opening the box. My game is called Who's Your? I like to play when we're on tour, kind of going down the road. Maybe you're in an airport or whatever. You're just bored, sick of doom scrolling on Instagram or whatever. You're sick of watching Andy Wood videos on YouTube, and you got to have something else to do. The game is Who's Your? For example, I would say, who's your Harrison Ford? And then the next person will go, oh, he's Indiana Jones. No question. Harrison Ford, that's Indiana Jones. Somebody else might go, oh, no, that's Han Solo. I've played Who's Your? We did it at the Woodshed camp. By the way, WoodshedGuitarExperience.com. I'm already getting artists lined up for 2022, and it's going to be a banger. Can't wait for you guys to see that lineup. International, and that's all I'm going to say. We're bringing in international players for next year. Going to be amazing. So I was playing the game at Woodshed Camp, and my main man, Chuck, if you go to andywoodmusic.com, you'll see Chuck's handiwork. Shout out to Chuck. I said, who's your Harrison Ford? I think Chuck goes, he's Blade Runner. No question. So it's always interesting to see who's your. And the reason this is relevant is not only it can buy me time to open this box and not feel like I'm rushing, is I said, what's in the box? It's a Brad Pitt. So let me know in the comments, who's your Brad Pitt? Who is it? I think for me it's tough, man. One of my first Brad Pitts was Lestat. But I had to say it's probably Tyler Durden from Fight Club. That's probably Brad Pitt in my mind. And it doesn't have to be who's the most popular. Let's clarify in the comments. It's not who's the most popular. It's who's yours. So every answer is the right answer. So you don't have to argue with each other in the comment section, which is great. Okay, first things first, let's just kick open. What have I ordered? What do I need to get me through, let's say 1 quarter, 2 quarters, half a year, whatever you want to call it, of just playing the guitar and making music for a living? What do I order? As you can see, my order's not insane. We just did an in-ear rig for Skank Banger with Uncle Ben Eller. His favorite band is Skank Banger, obviously. Yours and mine. So we did an in-ear rig. Need some consistency, so bring your own cables. All right? By that, when you're doing an in-ear rig, little pro tip for you, don't rely on the house cables and the house microphones. Take your own mics and your own cables. This way it's the same every time. So what have we got? Just a couple of microphone cables. This is the American Stage setup. You know what I like about it is the little input right there. I like how it's connected. They rarely fail. As a matter of fact, I've never had one fail. Never had one go bad. So I got 2 of those. Now, what else do you have? What else is in the box? You gotta have some instrument cable. You gotta have it. So what lengths have I got? So typically, I like a 25 foot. The American Stage is 30 foot. The reason is skank bangers shows require a little more running and jumping. Also, at Woodshed, we had a bigger stage. A lot of times in a small club, a 25-foot will get it there. But just in case, I ordered some 30-foot. And here's the other thing. I'm going to be crazy right now. So put your tinfoil hat on. I feel like, personally, I can hear a difference in cable length. I feel like I can. And I typically like the sound of long cable, like 25-foot cable. So even when I'm playing around the house, I still use a 25-foot cable into my pedal board, into, you know, once it goes to the switcher, which is the KHE, it's going around the room, so the cable length is there. It feels right. But even into my board, I use 25-foot cable. I'm going to try some 30-foot. We're going to report back later and see how the 30-foot goes. Now, a lot of times, I just want to jump right into the Axe effects. I just want to take a little practice amp backstage when we're warming up backstage. I don't need my tone to be perfect out of a Black Star or a Micro Cube. I don't need that backstage. You know what I need? 10-foot. That'll do it right there. So a couple of 10-footers, nice and easy. That's what's in the box right there. So that's our cables. Just, I don't go crazy. I feel like a lot of times when people start doing the mass package orderings, they go crazy. They're getting more stuff than they need. What ends up doing is it puts more stress on the manufacturer. Not to say Diodero isn't a massive company, but like, don't get more than you need. Don't be wasteful. Don't do that. If you're an artist out there, don't get stuff just because you can get it. Just get what you need. So, what do I need as far as strings? It's in here. It's in there. Here's a little fun one. I'm trying this out. It's a Diodero maintenance kit. Let me hold that up at you. Turn it. They had one with Nita Strauss's stuff on it, but I figured that'd be good for her because that's who she is. If I got Nita, I'm not Nita Strauss, so I didn't buy that package. She might need different stuff, man. She might have stuff for fingernail polish and, you know, fake blood. Nita, you might need some fake. You might need a fake blood holder. I don't need that. But I'll tell you what we both need when you do a skank banger. I need a mascara holder, so I maybe should have got the Nita Strauss one. Here we go. Nice packaging. I love this. It reminds me of Trapper Keeper. I'm a child of the 80s. Let's check this out. Let's see what comes in this bad boy. Look at this. I feel like James Bond. All right, let's see what we got. We got winders. Got some winders in here. This one's for guitar. So it's got snips on one end, which is cool. And you got the winder on the other. Love that. If you're, I can put it back in there. If I can do that, okay. If you're maybe like basting a turkey, right? Or you need to lubricate your rig up. This is really important. This is not for illegal substance, by the way. This is, if you get some string binding down at the nut, give this thing a squirt right down in there. Also, the stuff that guys use, this is like redneck hat coming at you. If you can't get a hold of one of these, some of that fishing line lubricant that guys use when they go fishing, like deep sea fishermen, some of that will do the job just fine. Even a little #2 lead will do it. Another pro tip, put it on down at the bridge, especially when you're coming up through on like a 510 or like a Fender tremolo. Just a little bit of this right there will go a long way. So let's see what else we got. We've got a handy dandy stand. Man, why didn't I say handy dandy standy? I wish I would have. All right, so how does this open? Now the video is going to get interesting because I don't know how this opened. And if you notice, I'm not one for checking out instruction manuals or any of that. Oh, there it goes. I did it. Look at me. Look at me, Mom. All right, so you set this up on a table. Look at that. You set that up on a table, and then your guitar neck goes right up there. Does it? Look at this. Bing, bang, boom. Love that. Loving that thing. I'm going to use that a lot. I know it because I'm really bad to lay the body like just kind of across the top of an amp and then just kind of wind from there. Some polishing cloth and an instruction manual. You know what? I don't do manuals very well. Don't like that too much. What else we got? Polishing system. This is to polish your frets. I like that. I like a shiny fret. You know I do. And what else we got in here? This is handy. because a lot of you guys are asking me how high is your action. You know how high my action is? It's where it feels good. I feel like I have low action, but I don't have slammed action. I can tell you for a fact, Petrucci's guitar is lower than mine. Tosin's is lower than mine. And I only know that because I just hung out with him, played him. Richardson, Jason, I feel like his action was low. I feel like Mateus was closer to me a little bit. It wasn't like laying on the deck of the... But I'm going to do some measuring, and now I've got a little thing here to measure that bad boy up. So here we go. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. This is a great little setup. I dig it. You know that I do. So let's move on to the good stuff. Now let's get into the thing. Let's get into the point of the video. Let me get the scissors back out so I can shake them at you. String gauge number 1. This is for mandolin. String gauge number 1 for mandolin. I'm using the 11.5 to 41. Right there it is. And I'm using the XT set. And I'll tell you why I use XT set. My hands are so gross. I have an acidity in my sweat in my hands. And I can just burn through a set of strings. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. But man, it's like a you know when they cut the alien open and he drips acid and it keeps going through the ship? That's how it is. So I use the XTs. Okay, next move. Now what's the next string gauge? Acoustic guitar. This is the Bluegrass set. I've been using this for standard. Let's take one out here, take one out and pass it around. 12 to 56. 12 to 56. I've been using that a little bit with the Rascal Flatts Gary LeVox solo acoustic gig. I've enjoyed that for the standard gauge. Kind of nice on top in case I need to do a little wheedly wee, but nice and chunky on the bottom. Now, next up, my standard set of acoustic strings. There it is, 13 to 56. 13 to 56 for regular acoustic. Also great if you got to tune down a half step. I know we probably got some guys out there that do some weekend warrior, nightly, solo acoustic, singer-songwriter things. 13 to 56. Tune that thing down to E flat, and if you got to play in center, put a capo on. Speaking of capos, that was a segue. That was an awesome segue, by the way. Speaking of capos, the cradle capo is the answer. Let me show you why. Now, a lot of people in your lesser demanding scenarios, a lot of people enjoy the trigger capo. You can move it, it's nice and quick, it's fast, but guess what? It's not as true. You get a little tuning inconsistency. You move that capo around, it's not spot on, that's why. This, you cradle that thing in, and it puts an even pressure on the neck. So you cradle that in just like that, puts an even pressure in, screw that bad boy in, and it's nice and even across the instrument. Intonation's better, tuning's better, you're happier, the people in the audience are happier, the people that hired you, they're happier, you're in tune. You can't beat it. Cradle capo, and guess what? You got to get 2. And why is that? Why do you get 2 if you got 1? I'm going to tell you, this is my pro tip. I say this on my Patreon all the time. Shout out to the Woodshed on Patreon. Love y'all. They know that I'm going to say this. What's it going to be, folks? 2 is 1 and 1 is none. It's an old military saying when you're out there in the field and you're doing the thing, you're at a gig or whatever, and you take 1 guitar cable, you take 1 capo, it's gone. The spring breaks, whatever, you're out. So always 2. 2 is 1, 1 is none. What does that lead us to that we got in here? Just 1 more instrument cable, because 2 is 1, 1 is none. You got to have more. We did acoustic strings, we did mandolin strings. What else we got? All right. Let's jump to the Skank Banger set. This is for tuning down a half step on the pink drip guitar that you guys have seen me play from time to time. 9.5 to 44. I love this. This gauge is great for standard, for shredding. You get the big bend, still got enough to where you can chug away on it. I like that. That's the NYXL right there. Love the NYXLs. And 9.5 to 44 for Fender scale length. I have to preface that. That's for Fender scale length. For Gibson scale length, I use 10s. 10 to 46. All right. That's a great, like, shreddy shred setup right there. I love that setup. We got more mandolin strings, more acoustic strings. What we got right here? More acoustic strings. All right, let's go to my favorite gauge as of late. It's going to be a weird one. I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I've gotten so used to this that I'm loving it. This gauge feels great. I'm pulling one out here. Just undo that tape. You ready for this? 9 to 46. 9 on top. It's a 9 set. It goes, the set goes 9, 11, 16, 26, 36, 46. It feels awesome. This is Fender scale length. I keep going back to this. When I'm playing a Gibson scale length, I use 10 to 46 or 11 to 48, depending on the tuning. But yeah, this feels really good for the Sirs. I'm using it on the black guitar, using it on the brown guitar, using it on the orange guitar. The Iron Man colored telly that's behind me, that one right there, it's a half step down. It's got 10 to 46 a half step down. So that when you start tuning guitars different, and I'll also say this, guitars enjoy different string gauges. Like I've got some guitars that are identical and one just likes a different string gauge. I remember seeing Bonamassa not too long ago, and he has a Strat that for whatever reason he's just like, man, 10s. That Strat needs 10s. It just sounds great with 10s on it. So there you have it. That's what string gauge I'm using. Our little unboxing here. And I got a lot of sets. I got enough sets to get me through until the next quarter. And that's the deal right there. I encourage you guys to try this out. I got the XTs in the 9 to 46. I got NYXL 9 to 46. So this is interesting right here coming at you. I'm going to do a little comparison. Which one do I like better? It's the same gauge. The XT has the extended life. The NYXL also has a bit of a thing. It says here, I'm going to read the back to you. XL strings will bend farther, sing louder, stay in tune better than any guitar string ever made. You're about to be heard more clearly than ever before. Okay? XT said on the back, stand the test of time with strings that endure. XT strings combine high carbon steel cores with an extended lifespan treatment on every string in the set, giving you enhanced break resistance, pitch stability, and long-lasting performance, all while preserving the tone and feel of your favorite uncoated strings. You know what? I'm going to be the judge of that. We're going to compare these bad boys. I think at some point, maybe I do a comparison video and let's dig in. But we got to, the thing is you got to do it on the same guitar. So maybe I film a little something, record a little something with one set, burn that set out, then record something in the same session with another set. We're going to put that debate to rest. And then what else is in here? You know, just some more XTs. That's the deal. That's what we got. I'm pretty stocked up on my 10s. This is the gauges that I've been using. And it's always fun when I order. I'm going to say this. This is always the telltale on what gigs I've been doing. When I'm doing more metal, I'm using heavier gauges. Like they're down because I'm tuning in like drop C or whatever. But I'm pretty stocked on my 11s and my 10s. As you can tell, I've been doing a lot of standard tuning lately. I've been doing a lot of skank banger lately. These are my gauges for standard tuning on Fender instruments. A Gibson 10 to 46. But man, y'all got to try this 9 to 46. If you tried it a long time ago, come back to it. Let's see this is doing it for me. I'm digging it. If you're looking for more lesson content and you want to take your playing up a notch or two, join us in the Woodshed. That's patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. Patreon.com/AndyWoodMusic. I upload 3 to 4 videos a week over there. Exclusive content that I don't put anywhere else on the internet. Lesson videos, breakdowns, Q&A. Once a week, this is the Silver Tuna right here. As it says on Home Alone, this is the Silver Tuna, Marv. I do a live weekly masterclass. Y'all gotta come over there and check that out. So for your combo tier subscription, that gets you access to all the videos, all the exclusives, and it gets you access to the weekly live masterclass. Come over there, jump in that tier, and hang out with us. It's fun. That's a fun time. All right, if you're looking for my music, albums, you're looking for Axe Effects patches, backing tracks, transcriptions, guitar profiles, all that kind of stuff, that's going to be at AndyWoodMusic.com. That's also got my tour schedule, where I'll be playing, who I'll be playing with, what products we got coming out, talking about the gearbox, the Woodshed compressor, the signature guitars, all those kind of updates, all over at andywoodmusic.com. Thanks for hanging out this week. We'll see y'all next time.